All right, we've got our town equipped. We got our party ready to go. It's time to see how this game works, huh? So, first player sheet. Here's what we're going to do. Number one, first thing, we're going to do the effects phase. Resolve in the following order: world encounters or other cards, infected wounds, discard characters that are basically dead or have 3 psychological damage. We have none of that right now. I don't have any cards that trigger on the effects phase, so we move on to phase 2, the town business phase. Now, we can deal each player, so each of us get an action card. Now, I start off with 3 action cards, and action cards are things that can be played. They say specifically when they can play, so play on the party exploits phase, play during the end turn phase, and then you can also sell these for the amount in their bottom right hand corner, and you can also sell spoil cards that you have in your auction house for that as well. The solo rules are a little bit different in buying and selling, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So I get to draw a new action card, and I picked Betrayal. So, okay. I'm not going to read all these. There's a lot of reading in this game, so when I feel like I'm going to go ahead and play one of these, I'll go ahead and read it. But for now, I'm just going to set those down. And so, in any on our town board here, if we were here, we would earn some town health and some salvage coin. So as we plop out, as we gain resources around here and start putting our tokens out of here by doing a resource deed, that track will move up on our town board, and that's how we will build up our town, more or less. Okay, or anything that we receive from our town technologies. I don't have any town technologies that give me anything right now. There are a couple that do. So we move on to the resource production. Receive all town health and salvage coins produced. Okay, so that's when you actually get that stuff from the town board. I stepped a little bit ahead of myself there. Phase 3 is the auction house. So normally in a multiplayer game, this is where players can sell cards in their auction house. So cards that they have over here that they don't have equipped to anybody, they can sell to other players in case somebody really needs a vehicle or something and they have one to sell. In the solo game, in variant 1, basically I draw 3 spoil cards and I may purchase 2 of them for their value. So let's draw 3 spoil cards, see what we get. I got a snub-nosed revolver. I got a switchblade knife. Ooh, and a first aid kit. Yeah. Discard instantly to heal 2 physical damage to each of your party members. Now, if you remember, switching over to this screen, my DeForce Tanner MD has a link with medical equipment, and it doubles the medical skill bonus and may be used twice before discarding. So this first aid kit, I could actually use this twice, and it doubles the medical bonus. So I definitely want to consider buying that for 6. I only start off with 10. So the only other one I could buy would be the switchblade, which might not be bad because, if you remember, Sean has a link to melee weapons, which this is a melee weapon. So that'll actually give him a +3 bonus plus this. So let's do that. So let's go back to this board, and let's go ahead and purchase the first aid kit and the switchblade. We'll discard the snub-nosed revolver. This will cost me a total of 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 money I'm putting back in the pool. You can't see it, but I am. And then let's get these guys equipped. So I'm going to give Sean, and FYI, the game did not come with these sleeve thingies. I basically just took some sleeves and taped them together so the things can slide together nicely. Alright, so Sean Cahill is now the proud owner of a switchblade, and that's going to engage his link, so he's going to get a +3, 4 to his attack. So let's go to number 5, which is Sean, and let's give him a +4 to his combat. Excellent. And then our first aid kit, we're going to stick on the doc. Who's number 4? Let's move that party thing there. Alright, so he now has a first aid kit, which will give him a 2. And metal equipment doubles its medical skill bonus, may be used twice. So this is actually going to give him 4 to his skill here. Okay, so there we go. Bought some spoils. So yeah, that part's done. We're on to Town Business Phase D. Town Event Chart. Player rolls a D10 and consults the chart to determine its effects. Now, one thing to notice or to realize in this game is lower numbers are actually better. So that's why my town, each time you are the first player, subtract 2 from your town event roll. So I'm going to get to a subtract 2 from my town event roll every time. So the town event chart is here. I don't know how well you can see it with my bright lights, but I'll tell you what happens, and you can take a look at it in the PDF if you want. So here we go. I'll roll a 3. -2 is a 1. Excellent. So I get to gain 2 prestige, 4 town health, and an action or spoils or character card. I think I will gain a spoils card. I found myself a 9mm pistol. Who wants that? Let's see. Did I have another handgun link? No. Oh, but Dimitri, actually, his link is interesting. It grants a cumulative +2, +1 for each pistol he has equipped. So let's go. He's at 16, 17, 18. He's actually good. So yeah, so let's add, let's give him another pistol. So he's a dual wielding machine. So that'll give him the +2 for the pistol, plus he'll get to add this on again because it's cumulative. So he's going to get, let's see, he's number 1 right there. So number 1. We're going to give him 2 more combat for that, 2 more combat for that, and 1 more survival for that. All right. Rocking and rolling. Excellent. Okay. Now we are on to the financial phase. So first I can sell spoils and action cards. So, or town technologies and town events chips. So do I want to sell any of these cards? Let's see. Play during the effects phase. Pay the bank 15 salvage coins. You select 1 resource from each other player to revert. You know what? This one's not actually going to be useful for me. So I'm going to sell that one for 3. I think I'm just going to keep the rest for now. So the second part of the financial phase is purchase. So I can buy new town technologies, which they grant you all kinds of different stuff. They give you +1 success to all the skills. They give you an extra spoils card each round, stuff like that. But they cost 30, and then they also have an upgrade side, which costs another 30. But I'm broke. My town's just getting started, so I have no more salvage coins to buy those. So the third part of financial phase, I can hire. I can pay. So sometimes in these action cards, you'll actually get mercenaries or non-player character mercenaries. And then they have a higher cost, and you can hire them and send them out to do a mission on the board or an encounter on the board, and you get all the stuff. And then they just kind of go away. You hire them for that one job, and they leave. It's actually a really, really cool addition to this game. Hopefully you'll get to see that in action. But right now I can't hire anybody. So I'm going to flip over to the party exploits phase, and this is where the fun starts to happen. So the first thing that happens here is you resolve all your mercenary or non-player character mercenaries. Once they're done, I basically have 4 weeks that I can use to do stuff. I can move, which costs 1 week. I can do an encounter deed, which costs 1 week. So meaning if I'm on a plane space, I draw a planes card. If I'm on a radiation space, I draw a radiation card. If I'm on a mountain space, I draw a mountain card, etc. That costs a week, and those are encounters. I can do a PvP deed, which in the solo game, you're not going to be doing that, at least not in this solo variant. I can do a resource deed, which costs me 2 weeks. And it has to be done on these hexes with these little, I don't know if they're sniper towers, or I think they're sniper towers. Towers of some kind. But they have to be done on those spaces. They cost 2 weeks. I have to complete an encounter card of my choice. So typically the plains are the easiest, the mountains are the second hardest, and then the city and radiation ones are the third hardest. I pick one. If I complete the encounter, I put down a resource on that space, and I move that track up on my board that I was showing you earlier. And you also gain prestige when you put down a resource. You can do a healing deed, which costs 2 weeks, and that's when you do the medical check, like my doctor can do with the first aid kit. Or you can do a mission deed, which costs 3 weeks. You have to be on a spot with a mission token, and then you draw a mission card, and you do that. Now, one other thing that's kind of cool in this game is, say I happen to get to this mission spot, I only have 2 weeks left, I can take a 1 week penalty on my next round. So I can go ahead and do that mission, which costs 3, but the next round I'm only going to get 3 weeks to spend instead of 2. So that's pretty cool. So first thing I'm going to do is move. So you roll a d6. I got a 4. You add your movement bonus for me, which is 7. And then you can move. This map over here kind of tells you, I don't know how clear it is on the screen, but it tells you how you can move. Through the plains, it's just 1 hex per. Through mountains, costs 2. Through cities, costs 3. Through radiation, costs 3. And you actually take damage if you go through radiation spots. And that's any place you see these little red deals. So with my 7 movement, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to claim a resource first. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go over here. Let's hit that resource. That cost me 1 week to move. So I'm going to do a resource deed, which will cost me 2 more weeks. And I'm going to draw a plains card. And let's see what we are in store for. Fallen Lands Groupies. Your good deeds, or bad, are paying off. Pulling into this little settlement, a group of townies quickly gather. Your fame throughout the Fallen Lands has attracted groupies. Convince them that they are special. So I immediately get 3 salvage coins. You don't have to complete the encounter to get that bonus. And then I need to do a diplomacy 3. So I need 3 successes in diplomacy to pay this off. So, or to win at this. So I'll put this over here so you can see a little bit better. So you see the 3 there for diplomacy. Okay, so I will show you how to do a check. So basically what we're going to do is roll a dice for all of our characters. There's a different colored die. And you'll notice there's different color triangles here, which actually line up with my triangles I have on here. And then we need to get a total of 6 successes. And the way successes work in this game is actually pretty cool. And I will show you right now. Let me roll my dice. There we go. So normally you would take them out and you'd put them on your board, each one of these, and add up your stuff and then do it that way. Since I have the app here, it should go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to check 1 first, and I'm checking diplomacy. So my diplomacy is a 7. So I need to roll a 7 or below on his colored die in order to succeed. Now, he rolled an 8 on the red die. That's his color, so that is not a success. On to player 2. He has an 8. He rolled a 9. Again, not a success. 3, he has a 6. He rolled a 2, so that grants me 1 success. On to 4, he has an 8. He rolled a 9 as well. Again, not a success. This is not going very well. On to 5, he rolled a 6. He also rolled a 9. Holy cow. Oh, wait, this black one is a 6. Oh, I'm not there yet. So I rolled 1, 2 9s. My goodness. So that's not a success. What did I do on the orange? I got the orange one, didn't I? So 1 is an 8. I did not get that. It's a 7. 2 is an 8. I rolled a 7. I did get this one. Okay. 3 is a 2. I have a 6. I got that one. 4. It's actually purple, but it's the blue die. That's a 9. I have an 8. I did not get that one. 5 is a 9. I did not get that one. So my vehicle has a 4. I rolled a 6. So I failed with only 2 successes. That's brutal. And then you look at your cards and say, is there anything I can do to fix that? Most of my guys are all about combat, so once per turn during a solo encounter card, reroll a failed skill check. This is not a solo encounter card. So, unfortunately, I failed. So, failure. The most valuable spoils card equipped to your party is stolen. The player to your left selects this card. These hotties earn their keep. This is until they run off with the piece of your gear. Oh, no. All right. Well, let's see what the most expensive gear I have is. It looks like it's my Masume crafted katana. Man, that hurt. Oh no, my party equipment of 30. So it looks like my party pistols are gone, which is going to subtract 3 from everybody's combat. Ouch. All right, and I don't have a subtract button, so he's at 19, so he'll be at 16 now. I should probably put a subtract button in there. He's going to be at 17. He will be at, ouch. He's going to be at 5. I didn't realize how much that pistol was helping me out. 9. Oh, he might have been a link for somebody too with that. He was at 18, right? Who's this? Yellow. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's right. My vehicle didn't get the bonus from it. So he had gotten a link from it as well on that +2, +1. So he's also going to lose 1 survival and 2 more combat, putting him at 14. Man! 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. All right. Well, that stunk. And I failed the thing, so I basically just cost 2 weeks to fail that. That's not good. So what I'm going to do for my final week is I'm actually going to give myself a 1-week penalty. Let's stick that here. And go ahead and do the encounter deed again, or the resource deed again. So again, I'm going to draw a Plains card. Colossal Carnage. Rolling back smoke on the horizon alerts you to the danger ahead. You cautiously deviate onto a well-concealed side path and spy a small town in flames in the distance. Warily, you enter the smoldering rubble, hoping to be of some assistance. Haggard survivors emerge from the shadows of the shelled-out buildings. Armed with compound bows, they quickly surround you. The look playing across their grim features suggests they intend to blindly extract revenge against the perpetrators of these crimes. So, I get 2 salvage coins. And again, I have to do a diplomacy check. And then a medical check. So you can see that there. So, let's grab our dice again. Hopefully we roll a little better this time. Let's reset our successes to 0. Okay, so for red, we rolled a 7. We needed a 7. Success. We needed an 8. We rolled a 3. Success. We needed a 6. We rolled a 1. Success. Now, here's the interesting thing about 1s. First of all, 10s are auto fails, and they remove any success that character got. And I'll explain that later when you're getting multiple successes. I'll show you how that happens. A 1 actually allows you to re-roll. So I have 1 success with him. I could roll the 1, and if I beat the number again, then I get another success. If I don't, I don't. But if I roll a 10, it negates the success he'd already gotten as well. So looking at my other dice, I only need 1 more success, and I know my blue's a 2, and I only need I needed an 8. So I know I'm going to get it without taking that risk, so I'm not going to. So I'm just going to move to 4, and I got my 4th success. I actually got a success on 5 as well, and did not get one on that. So I got 5 successes for my diplomacy check. Woohoo! So now I have to roll for a medical check of 3. So again, we start with number 1. His medical is a 6. I rolled a 3. That's 1 success. Medical's a 5. I rolled a 2. That's a 2nd success. 3. I rolled a 3 is a 5. That's a 3rd success. Now, he is a master, so I can kind of explain this now. So a master automatically gives him 1 success. He also has a 10, so that is another success. And his 1 is below a 4, which is the remainder of that 10. So that is actually a 3rd success. So the way it works is, say I have a number of 14 like it is there, and I rolled a 1. So I was under the 14, so that's a 1. So any remainder of the 10, the first 10, gets carried over. So my 1 was again under the 4, which was the remainder. So I get a 2nd success. And then I get the 3rd success for him being a master. Hopefully that makes sense, but I'm sure you'll see me do it more and more often. So if it doesn't yet, it will. But I did succeed. So, yay on me. Let's reset that before I forget. Success. Gain 2 town health and 1 town defense chip. So I get 2 town health. I get a town defense chip, which just stacks on my town here. Those are really important when you're playing multiplayer for PvP. That's the only way to really protect yourself from your resources getting stolen. In this solo variant, I don't remember if they give you points at the end or what. I don't think so. So it may be worth it to sell it. It may not. So I gain 2 town health, 1 town defense chip. Talking first, you convince them of your innocence. You win them over with the comforting words, medical assistance, and the offer of asylum. They couldn't be happier to leave this hellhole. Gathering their meager belongings, they make haste for your town. So there we go. So, the other cool thing is I succeeded in that resource deed. So, I get to put one of my tokens on that resource. I get to gain 1 prestige. And on my town board, I get to put one of my markers right there, denoting that I am at +1 town health each round, and 1 salvage coin is what I earn. So that will actually end the party exploit phase and moves us into our end turn phase. So if you have any cards that activate on the end turn phase, like an action card, for example, says play during the end turn phase. To choose and remove an opponent's party character, place them, so that doesn't really help in solo. Play during the end phase to look at an opponent's town roster, so that's not really helpful either in this version, so I'll probably end up selling that next time. Play during the end turn phase, draw 5 action cards, choose 3 to keep, and give another player of your choice the other 2. So in this case, I would just discard them. So that's not bad. I think I'll go ahead and discard that. That'll be for the end turn phase. So I can draw 5 action cards, choose 3 to keep, and then just discard the other 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 action cards. Oh, sweet. I got a mercenary. Death Heads Mercs. So I'm going to keep that one. Ooh, I could get my pistols back. I think I'm going to take that one. And, oh, this one shouldn't be in the deck. This is actually, well, every time you see this red, that's not a solo card. That's for the multiplayer game, so I'm just going to remove that. So let me draw one more to replace that one. Play during the effects phase and claim an unowned resource. Oh. Okay, yeah. Alright, those are the 3 I want. And then my Chad has each end turn phase gain 2 salvage coins. So I will do that, I guess, because he's a hacker. Okay, so that is the end of end turn phase. Our turn marker moves up 1. And then we start it all over again.